after conducting the spatial join, we're going to have our trips now aggregated by block group and using the census block groups available for Kane County. So now if we open the table of attribute for the new block groups, we're going to have the new calculated passenger per mile indicator and also the passenger per count. And the spatial join runs statistical mean to aggregate those by block group. So if a lot of trips existed in one block group, it calculates the average value for the mile per passenger, which indicates operational efficiency in this case. So that still does not tell us if there is any special or specific spatial clustering. So I'm turning off all other layers and I will only keep the one that resulted from the join. And I'll use that to find out if there is any statistical significant spatial clustering happening between high efficiency areas and low efficiency areas. In order to find these spatial clusters, I will use the optimized hotspot analysis tool. If you navigate to search, just to find it real quick, I'll use the GI hotspot analysis available here. And for the input feature, I'm going to use the same shapefile that resulted from the spatial join. And for the output feature, I'm just going to call it hotspot analysis. And here we have to really choose a field that we want to measure the clustering or spatial clustering for, and that will be our mile per passenger. You can also use the inverse of that, like passenger per mile, but be mindful that that will be flipped. And the highest mile per passenger will be the least efficient, while highest passenger per mile will be the highest efficient. So just be mindful of the differences here. So I will use a mile per passenger and I'll let that run the calculation. All right, so the results of the hotspot analysis will give you the zones where high clustering of high values and high clustering of low values exist, and this represents the confidence intervals. Each of these units or block groups in this case, red ones are the hot spots and the blue ones represent the cold spots. And definitely the lower the values, the higher the efficiency. And areas that are left in white or in blank, they're not statistically significant, basically. So they might have high values, low values, or moderate values, but there isn't any statistical significance in their existence. So I did this for the trips before diversion, and I'll repeat similar steps to find out hotspots and cold spots for the remaining trips after the diversion, just to get a sense of how will trip diversion impact operational efficiency of existing paratransit services.